Congratulations, NASCAR. Congratulations. 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 And Texas on creating quite possibly the worst All-Star race I've ever watched. And that finish. What was that? What was that? Now, you know what? We're not even going to do an intro. Nah, screw the intro. What's up? We got to talk about this race. This race was an absolute shit show. I mean, there's no other way to say it. I mean, abomination. I don't know if I'd go that far, but people wonder why NASCAR isn't taken seriously, and then they see this, and then you go, oh, that's why. We're just going to jump straight into the finish, but we're going to talk about the lead up to what happened. Okay, so basically, Ryan Blaney, who had the best car, especially late in the stage of this All-Star race, and he was out in front. He was going to take the lead. He was by far the fastest driver. Had I think about a 1.5 or maybe even a 2-second lead ahead of Denny Hamlin at the time. And it looked like, all right, cool. Blaney's going to go on, take this one away. Then we can blow up Texas and have it become a Walmart or a Buc-ee's or a short track, one of the two. But Texas needs to piss off. So yeah, simple as that. And then Ryan Blaney took the white flag, and he was mere feet from taking the checker flag until you see their caution lights come on. Now, according to the All-Star rules, if the race must end under green. They're going by ARCA rules. In the ARCA series, a race must end under green under no circumstances. It must end under green. So even at the final lap, if there is a caution, you have NASCAR overtime. Well, that's what happened. But it happened mere feet before the start-finish line. Mere feet before the start-finish line. And you would think, okay, if they threw the caution, it must be a crash. There must be a couple cars sitting on the back straightaway. No. This was the caution. Yep. Stenhouse tapping the wall. Listen, I know it's an All-Star race. I know I shouldn't care, but come on, you threw the caution for that? That is why y'all throw the Let me tell you, I'm telling you, everyone was thought, congrats, Blaney won. Blaney's crew chief was celebrating. The pit crew was celebrating. You know, the announcers were like, congratulating Blaney. Blaney at that time already had his window net down and was, celebrating, of course, because he won the freaking race because everyone thought it was over. And the fact that NASCAR threw the caution for that. And then, that's not even the worst part. Because Blaney put down his window net, because of course he would, everyone thought he won the freaking race, he couldn't get back up because with the window net, it's easy to take it down, but it's very difficult to pull it up. Usually, you need a crew member outside of the car to pull it up for you. Blaney had to do this by himself while driving, and it looked as if he wasn't able to get it up. And NASCAR rulebook, you can't get the window net up. You have to come on the pit road to get it put it up. And when you do that, of course, you're stopped on pit lane. You lose your position. Everyone thought that'd be extremely unfair if NASCAR forced Blaney to come on the pit road to fix that window net issue and have him lose his starting position when it wasn't his fault. I mean, you want to talk about manufactured drama. Ooh, this isn't levels of Abu Dhabi 2021 in my opinion because it is an exhibition race, but boy, did they try to one-up F1 because that was absolutely ridiculous. And when Blaney was sorta got up the window net up. I don't know if I have video footage of it, but if I do, I'll show it to you. But he sorta got it up, but you could tell it was clearly unsafe. It was not the practical way to put up a window net, and it looked extremely unsafe. And the fact that NASCAR didn't bother saying, okay, you know what, Blaney, like, hey, let's get you on pit road. Let's have you put up the window net properly and send you back out. The fact that they let Blaney go out and race in that state and not even give him the time of day of letting him come on the pit road so that they can properly put up the window net. Blaney drove out there for like maybe 2 or 3 laps, struggling, trying to put this window net up there. While NASCAR just sat back, they did nothing. Like, thankfully, thank the gods Blaney was able to, on NASCAR overtime, able to get out ahead, clear Hamlin, hold off Cindric, and he was able to win the All-Star race. Thank the gods, because had Blaney not won that race, it would have been anarchy at the racetrack, probably, because when Blaney got out of the car and celebrated, you heard a loud cheer, much louder cheer than I expected from Blaney. And I think that was because everyone knew that he should win the race. Under no circumstances, he should win the race. He clearly had the best car. And this race, the finish, I should say, just capped off one of, if not the worst All-Star race I have ever seen. First off, it was a lot of nothing and tire issues. The All-Star Open was complete ass. Buescher, Stenhouse Jr., and Suarez won their Opens. Eric Jones won the fan vote. Tyler Reddick tried to do something in the All-Star Open, but spun out and wrecked trying. But in Stage 1, Busch led every lap. Kyle Busch, he led every lap. Stage 2, we saw the beginning of tire issues. Lap 36 into this race, Larson running in second place at the time, cuts a tire, slams the outside wall a ton. He was okay, but his day was done. We restart on lap 44. 4 laps later, a hellacious accident. Another tire going down involving the leader, Kyle Busch, kind of like what we saw last weekend in Kansas with Christopher Bell. Busch loses a tire, cuts down a tire on the front straightaway, comes from the top to the bottom, right in front of Ross Chastain's path, and Chastain just creams into the left side of Busch, goes up in the air, nearly gets upside down, and then barely clips the left rear of Chase Elliott, sending Elliott hard into the outside wall. All 3 of them took incredible hits, but fortunately, they were all okay. But it was a little bit interesting because the fact that we're not even halfway into the race and 4 of the top contenders were wrecked or out of the race. So it was a little bit interesting in a sense. But outside of that, yes, there were moments of battles, especially on restarts, which is not surprising. And there were some battles mid-pack, but once you got inside the top 5, top 6, it was basically just single file. It was really follow the leader, which is what a lot of drivers were expecting. In interviews, like Kyle Larson, in his interview after he crashed in the race, he said, clean air is like, I think it was on the lines of like, clean air is, dominating, very impossible to pass. I think that was the line. And Tyler Reddick also said along the lines of how extremely difficult it was to pass and how he tried to do something for the fans and whatever. So drivers clearly didn't like it, like the racing. And yeah, that was really about it in terms of moments. There was a 2-lap shootout at the end of Stage 2. Cindric won that stage, and Joe Legano won the shootout or the pit stop challenge, so he would end up starting 4th in Stage 4. In Stage 3, there was a good battle for a couple laps between Blaney and Byron up front. Blaney prevailed. That is when Blaney started to show his stuff. With 40 to go in the stage, Christopher Bell, running in second place at the time, spun by himself off of turn 4, backed it into the wall, and brought out the caution. Another 2-lap shootout, Blaney wins Stage 3. And then that is where we get to Stage 4 and now. Blaney led all the way up until 27 laps to go when Eric Jones lost it again in turn 4, backed it into the wall for the caution, and that is when we get to the finish. But yeah, here's a look at the race results. I don't even care about it, but yeah, Ryan Blaney, he wins this race. Second place is Denny Hamlin. Third is Austin Cindric, Joe Logano, and Daniel Suarez rounds at the top 5. Alex Bowman, AJ Allmendinger, Chris Buescher, and Brad Keselowski. Good run for the RFK drivers. 8th and 9th, Christopher Bell rounds out the top 10. Able to rebound from that crash. William Byron, Eric Almirola, Kurt Busch, Martin Truex Jr., Michael McDowell, Bubba Wallace, Kevin Harvick, Chase Briscoe, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., who finished 19th after he was in the wall twice. Not only the one coming to the finish line, but also, I think with around 12, 11 laps to go, he also brought out the caution, or hit the outside wall. And then Eric Jones, Kyle Busch, Ross Chastain, Chase Elliott, and Kyle Larson were all out of this race. Again, this race was just a shambles. Like, if you're gonna hold the All-Star race, NASCAR, I beg of you, please do not put it in Texas. I don't care where else you put it. You can put it in Dover. You can put it in Indy. I don't care where you hold the All-Star race, but for the love of God, do not put it at Texas. Okay? The All-Star race is already in shambles. Through the segment racing, whatever, didn't help. And the reason why it doesn't help is because you have a track that is absolute garbage. This racetrack is garbage. When was it repaved? 1997 to 2016. Dead. Eddie Gossage, whoever designed the 2017 reconfiguration, you suck. Okay, I don't know who designed it, but whoever did and approved it, y'all suck. Because Texas is the worst racetrack on the NASCAR circuit. Not even the next-gen car could save it. The only reason why this race was somewhat interesting was because of all the tire issues. And when you judge a race, whether it's exciting or not, based off of cautions and crashes, you know you have a problem. But I mean, I was about done with this race after stage 2, and then when that final lap happened, I was in disbelief because everyone accepted the fact that Blaney won. Cool beans. Good night. And then I'm like, and even Mike Joy was, I think even the announcers were like, "Are you serious, NASCAR? Are you for real? You're seriously gonna throw out a caution for that when Blaney is that close to the finish line?" I think even Mike Joy said something. I know what to say, but I'm not gonna say it. I think I do know what he wanted to say. Effing bullshit. That's what that was. Sorry for the language, but that's all you can say what this race was. From tire issues to just absolute lackluster racing. Again, it had its moments. Thank you to the next gen car. It did provide us some moments, but difference between moments and parts of the race that were good. You know, a moment or a couple laps of racing doesn't mean the race was good. It's still garbage. And the finish just made it that much worse. And had Blaney not won that race, you would have seen an absolute riot take place at the start-finish line. Hamlin did say that NASCAR should have black flagged Blaney. I understand why he says that. He's a competitor. I get that. But Blaney was the only rightful winner. He's the reason why there is still a little bit of saving grace. Had anyone else won that race but Blaney, it would have been done for NASCAR on social media, at the track. It would have been a massacre. So best case scenario, but yeah, that should not have been a caution. Blaney should have won that race already by then. He didn't need to do another overtime finish or whatever. The racing, absolute garbo. Man, I don't know. Texas, again, like I said, you got 3 options. Blow it up and turn it into a Walmart, turn it into a Buc-ee's, or turn it into a short track. Those are your 3 options. If I was NASCAR, I wouldn't race at Texas Motor Speedway for forever. For the rest of its configuration, I wouldn't race there. It's just, all of us were so hopeful. And I remember coming into the race weekend, all of us were so hopeful, thinking, you know what, the next gen car, it's made, mile and a half racing so much fun to watch. It made Kansas really fun, made Vegas really fun. Fontana was a lot of fun. It had checked off all the boxes except for Martinsville, but so far this season, it had checked off all the boxes. And we were hoping that maybe it could save Texas. Nope. It couldn't save Texas. And I don't want NASCAR to get the idea that we need to change the package because Texas sucked. It's not the package's fault. It's not the car's fault. It's the track's fault why the racing was so crap today. And yeah, congratulations to Blaney. I'm so happy he won that race, but I don't know what else to say. Like this, what do you want me to say? Like, what else can I say? This race was garbo. NASCAR tried to manufacture another finish that they didn't need to try to manufacture. Just end the suffering already. And if next year's All-Star, the All-Star race needs a whole new revamp. There's so many issues with it, but if they bring it back to Texas next year, I'm gonna lose it. I mean, if they bring it back to Texas next year, then NASCAR is literally trying to kill off the All-Star race if they bring it back to Texas next year. But I don't care. I'm looking forward to Charlotte. Charlotte's a good racetrack, and hopefully the next gen car can perform well there. But yeah, I'm done with this race. This race, an F. This race is a freaking F. I don't even care. You know what? I'm bringing out the Marco. This race is a flat out freaking F. Actually, no. You know what? You get an E. It's that bad. Y'all get a freaking E for this race. Thank y'all so much for watching. I'm Jet. Congratulations to Ryan Blaney. I'm done with this. I'll see y'all next time.